Stage 1 of the CRO Race gets underway from Voditse to Scene, 162.5 kilometers of racing, 2,300 meters of elevation. We're starting right on the Adriatic coast here.
From UK, Oscar Only.
Oscar Only coming into the race as one of the big favourites for the overall general classification, and of course 2 years ago he had some brilliant results. This is one of our third-tier teams, continental team from Poland. They've got big ambitions with Porowski.
Thank you very much, boys. From Australia.
There's the Croatian road race champion, that's Victor Potocki of Ljubljana, Gusto Santic. Adriamobil, the Slovenian continental team, always a team that like to animate the races, and of course in the breakaways.
And number 17 from Italy.
Barring victorious there on the right-hand side with Fran Mihaljevic, the Croatian rider within the World Tour squad. They've won the race already 2 years ago with Mati Mohoric. Tape is cut by the local dignitaries. There is the Croatian champion on the front row. Well, there's 6.5 kilometers of neutralised section before the race will officially begin. But meanwhile, brilliant crowds who are out here at the start in Voditse. 139 riders, 20 teams, 6 teams from the World Tour. You've got 8 teams from the UCI Pro Tour and 6 continental teams. They're all battling for the red jersey. This is the stage itself. 2 classified climbs, a second category and a first category, as well as 3 intermediate sprints. The first coming in Šibenik, very early on in the stage, followed by that second categorised climb into another intermediate sprint. Then they've got this first categorised climb. It's 17 kilometres long, averaging just over 3.5%, but with maximum gradients of 9%, followed by 1 final intermediate sprint in our finishing town of Scene. They'll get a look at the finish line with 24.5 kilometres to go. Well, the flag is waved and immediately there's action at the head of the peloton. Riders and teams wanted to get themselves into the breakaway. This is one of our invited teams. Santic Vibara are all trying to get themselves involved, as are Jaco Alula. On the gold bikes in the black and gold kit, that's Ljubljana Gusto Santic. This is the team where Tadej Pogačar raced when he was in his early days of racing, when he was 18, 19 years of age. And of course, crowned the world champion on Sunday in Zurich. Well, there's quite a lot of action up at the head right now. There's several riders trying to make a move. One of the riders from Adriamobil, in that white jersey, is the Croatian road race champion, Victor Potocki. Just swings off the front. TDT Unibet with 2 riders are there as well. Madsved Schmidt is in the move. It doesn't have too much of an advantage as it stands right now over the peloton. Madsved Schmidt in the navy blue jersey. So it's all going to come back together here before we get to Šibenik. And into Šibenik, it's Fred Wright who's on the front in that white jersey. He's going to take the point at the intermediate sprint in Šibenik. 5 points and 3 bonus seconds on offer. Five riders in the move. Cyrus Monk opens it up into the next intermediate sprint of the day. He's closely being followed by Axel van der Tug, but Cyrus Monk, well, that's a clear winning margin. He takes the 5 points and the 3 bonus seconds. He takes them ahead of van der Tug with 3 and Munoz taking 1. Also in the move, you've got Rare, the rider from Czechia. He races for the ATT investment squad. Number 7, that's Joaquin Murgialdi of CRO Race in that white and green jersey. Degrees out, brilliant racing conditions. Only 6 kilometers per hour, the wind. But they're working well together. 7.5 minutes is the advantage for these 5 riders. And to be honest, the fact that we're heading into the base of this climb of the day, the teams might start to worry. The fact that these 5 riders are performing so well. They've got great cohesion between them all. And you never know, on this climb, if they can work well together. You've got a combination here of some excellent climbers. Van der Tuk, 185, has shown himself in some sublime form. There's Cyrus Monk, he's looking to try and show himself this year, because at the end of the season he's out of contract, and so he wants to show what he's capable of to all of the other teams. This almost could be like a shop window, if you like. The fact that he's been told that he doesn't have a contract with Q36.5 Pro Cycling for the next year makes these races even more invaluable. There's so much importance for Cyrus Monk now to show what he can do. They're onto the climb. 7 minutes and 26 seconds is the advantage. Frank van der Broek, who's riding on the front for Team DSM Firmenich at PostNL. They come with 2 excellent sprinters. They've got Pavel Bittner, who took a stage, his first stage in a Grand Tour. That was into Sevilla in the Vuelta a España. That was an incredible performance. But they've also got the Danish rider Tobias Lund. So between the 2 of them and Team DSM Firmenich at PostNL, they've got good options, and they're the team, along with Uno X Mobility, who've taken things up to try and control the advantage, and not just control it, but start to make a mark on it, because if they leave it any longer, then it's only going to become even more difficult to bring the 5 back. But indeed, they've got the 17-kilometre climb now that they are just over a kilometre into. First part of the climb averaging 3.6%. The middle section, you're onto a plateau, it's only around 1% average. But then it's the final 5 kilometres which are the harder of the whole climb. It's averaging 5%, you've got gradients along the way of 9%. There's Axel van der Tuk, the brother of Danny van der Tuk, who we've seen already in this race in the past. Francisco Muñoz coming from Oviedo in Asturias in the north of Spain. He's only 23 years of age, Muñoz. Well, there's the vital stats of the climb itself. Two riders in this breakaway of 5 who are from a 3rd division teams, continental teams. You've got 3 riders from pro team level. No riders in the World Tour represented in the front group. Moving himself forward, that's Andreas Lefferson, number 136. Just at the back, number 97, that's James Whelan. Seguros. They come in as the defending champions with Alois Aulard, who's back to defend his title. There's now UAE Team Emirates who are committing themselves on the front and helping out Team DSM Firmenich PostNL. Uno X Mobility there in the red jerseys. It's the Danish rider Dalby, who is sitting in second wheel. The lineup of Team DSM Firmenich PostNL, they've got Warren Barguil, Tobias Lund, Pavel Bittner, Sean Flynn, Oscar Onley, Frank van der Broek and Mace Vlot. Mace Vlot is a rider who races for the Devo team of Team DSM Firmenich PostNL, and so he's got this opportunity here to ride up with the World Tour squad, gain all of that experience. This is where we are on the profile. We're only a couple of kilometres into the base of the climb itself. Inside 65 kilometres to go. The gap finally coming down below that 7-minute marker, but they're holding their own so well between them all. They're sharing the workload, they're keeping a nice tempo, a nice rhythm. First categorised climb, big points available by the way, 12 points for the first rider who crest the top of the climb, 8 points for the second rider, points available for the first 5. Well, there's the results of the first King of the Mountain of the day. Axel van der Tuk taking the 6, Raya with the 4, Merglialdi taking the 2. 23-year-old Dutchman from Assen. He's having a good showing. He's had a lot of races in the legs this season alone. He's had some good results. He's had a couple of victories along the way, plenty of podiums. There he is, Axel van der Tuk. Results of the first intermediate sprint in Shibinyak. It was Fred Wright who took the 5 ahead of Bounce with the 3 and Wordgen taking the 1. 3, 2 and 1 bonus seconds between those 3 riders. Fred Wright perhaps wanted to try and take some bonus seconds, maybe looking to go for the overall here for Bahrain Victorious. And as we know, and if you've been with us previously on the CRO Race, the race is being won by only a matter of mere seconds in the general classification. And if you're new, it's always a thrilling finale once we get to Zagreb on Sunday. It's very often still a wide open race, hard to predict. Bonus seconds at each of the intermediate sprints, bonus seconds on the finish line, 10, 6 and 4 bonus seconds by the way on the finish line each stage. So there's a lot to be had really. All of the colours of the peloton as we look down from the helicopter shots. Giovanni Lunardi, one of the riders to watch out for today from Pulti Cometa. Watch out for Bouts as well of TDT Unibet. There's 3 teams making their debut here at the race. One of those being the team in the sky blue jersey with the multicoloured waistband. The other being Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe, who you can see on the far left side with Manciuk. As well as one more team, and that's Tudor Pro Cycling, who are making the debut at the CRO Race. Of the 139 riders here in the race, 87 of those are making their debut. It's Ria at the back, the rider from Czechia, riding for the ATT Investment Squad. We're on that plateau on the climb now. They're going to make a right-hand turn here, traverse their way through along the country roads as Munyov comes down. Dear me, Raya gets himself caught up as well as The rider from Caral, Murgialdi, I don't know if he just about avoided that crash, but Munoz, the Spanish rider, along with his compatriot Murgialdi, are coming back to the two riders up front, and that is Axel van der Tug and Cyrus Monk. But for Rea, he came down hard there. Well, this is the wounds on the right elbow of Munoz. That was a really hard fall. Just lost the front wheel as he went into that right-hand turn. That'll be painful. And also here, Murgialdi, he might have just come off lightly. He's had a bike change. He's got some road rash on the left knee. Certainly not the ideal way to start stage one of the CRO Race. He's trying to come back to the leaders up front. Meanwhile, that's done a lot to the time gap, and the deficit now for the peloton is just over 4 minutes and 10 seconds with 53.5 kilometres to go. They're getting across the top of this King of the Mountain with 51 kilometres remaining. Then they're going to have that 10 kilometre descent. They'll enter the finishing loop with 40.8 kilometres to go. Quarters of a lap. They'll go through the finish line with 24.5 kilometres to go, and then they'll do one full lap. There's Frami Holjevic of Bahrain Victorious, number 14, as we take a look down on the young Croatian rider, just come fresh out of the World Championships. He raced in the under-23 race, which was a very miserable race. Terrible weather conditions. Number 13, Kamil Gradek. They've also got Bruta Meso. Number 16, they've got Fred Wright there. Number 15 is Rob Stannard. Well, only 2 kilometres until they'll crest the top of this first categorised King of the Mountain of the day. It's Cyrus Monk. He's one of the bigger riders of the breakaway. If he can just get himself over this last part of the climb, he's got 10 kilometres of recovery. There's Domen Novak, the squad of UAE Team Emirates. Rana McNulty, Igor Arieta, they've got Jonathan Guati-Bonanza, they've got Alvaro Hodge, Sebastian Milano, Domen Novak and Anshay Ravbar. 2 of those riders coming from their Gen Z squad. Well, the battle for the 12 points is on between Axel van der Tug and the Spanish rider Murgialdi. Axel van der Tug taking the 12 points to add to the 6 that he won earlier on today. Murgialdi taking second with Munoz up there as well as Monk. Murgialdi just letting Axel van der Tug know that he's going to have a bike change. He had a quick bike change after that crash, but he wants to get back onto his race bike. And now the pace here in the peloton is firmly on, and there's several riders here who are starting to find themselves in a little bit of difficulty. One of those being Roman Holzer, the Swiss rider here, number 125. As Jimmy Whelan makes his way back on in the grey and lime green jersey. But Sam Welsford is going through a really rough patch. Number 36 for Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. He's got 3 riders with him. But this is not good news for the sprinter from Australia, because at the front, Team DSM Firmin at Paustenel, they know that Pavel Bittner and Tobias Lund are in incredible form. They're climbing well, and they really want to try and do a bit of damage to their sprinter rivals. .4 kilometres to go on the descent, and it's in one long line with a little Bit of space starting to open up between the different riders and teams. Team DSM Firmenich Poster now, they're in pole position in the peloton. They've got the control and you've got some really excellent descenders within their team. For some riders, they're not as confident at descending as some of the other riders who are in the peloton. Little gaps opening up as we head for Scene itself. 25.4 kilometers to go. Still a couple of riders who are out in the breakaway. Peloton in one long line, but we're seeing a little bit more formation now. You can see the red jerseys of Ineos Grenadiers. They're finally starting to move their way up. As three cannons will be let off here at the top of the town at Scene. Through the finish line, they make this right-hand turn. An intermediate sprint coming up in 300 metres just ahead of them. Axel van der Tuck is trying to challenge Cyrus Monk, but Cyrus Monk wants to try and get the jump here. He's already taken one intermediate sprint of the day. That was at the second intermediate sprint, and the Australian rider is going to clear up, and he's going to take the 5 points in the 3 bonus seconds. He takes that ahead of Axel van der Tuck, who takes 3 points and 2 bonus seconds. And Monk wants to try and get himself into a jersey come the end of this week. Maciek on the front. The Polish rider followed by Domen Novak. Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe up towards the front with 4 riders in total. In the red jerseys, it's the Ineos Grenadiers who are wash at the moment. Just behind you can see the white jerseys of Caruel and UAE team members. Milano's there. Those are Bahrain victorious with a number of riders. Ponty Comet in the white, red and green jerseys. But of course they've got a rider up the road in Munoz. There's the results in Scene. Monk taking the 5, Van der Tuck with 3, Murgialdi taking 1. Inside 20 kilometers to go. They're going to go from this main road here, they're going to make a right-hand turn. That's when they're going to go onto the narrow country road. The 2 riders from the breakaway, Murgialdi and Monk, are about to be caught and mopped up by the peloton as it stands right now. Over the bridge. 3 kilometers to go. Any rider who suffers a crash or a mechanical problem in the final 3 kilometers will be given the same time as the group they were in. Lawson Craddock, his job is done for the day. He shakes the legs out. And up towards the front, Uno-X Mobility down the centre in the red jersey, in the navy blue. They're looking after Kogut. Ineos Grenadiers, they've got their best interests in Elia Viviani, comes off the back of 3 days of racing on the track in Aigle. Polti Cometa trying to deliver Giovanni Lunardi, whilst Bahrain victorious. They've got 2 options today. They've got Nicola Baratti, but they've also got Alberto Brutamesso. Christoph, number 135, you can see him sitting 3rd in line of Uno-X Mobility. Number 21, that's Filippo Ganna. He hands over to Joshua Tarling. 2 excellent time trialists who are setting the pace here for Elia Viviani. Absolute luxury domestiques for the Italian Viviani. Don't forget, Viviani won the opening stage 12 months ago, so he knows exactly what he needs to do to win here into Scene. We're heading for the Flamme Rouge, number 85, there on the front. That's Pierre-André Cote. Right on his wheel is his teammate Oded Kogut. Moving up, number 3, that's Fernando Barthelo. Luis Aular starts to move up, number 1 on the back. He just gets a nudge as they go through 1 kilometre to go. Look at the effort that this is taking. Filippo Ganna is rip-roaring into the final kilometre here. Where is Viviani? There he is, number 27, now starting to move and make his way through. That's Sean Flynn, who's trying to deliver Pavel Bittner for a stage victory. It's Polti Cometa who have got the control at the head of the race. Niccolo Baratti is sitting in 2nd wheel in the white jersey. Closely followed number 23, that's Kim Hajduk, who's now got Viviani on the wheel. Ben Turner is the final man for Elia Viviani. They come into 400 metres to go. They're going to come out of this little pinch point with 300 metres remaining, and it's Ben Turner who's got the turn of speed. Nicolo Barati is trying to go early for Bahrain Victorious in the white jersey. Lund is there for Team DSM Firmenich Postinel in the left-hand side, but here comes Alexander Kristoff in the red. Kristoff is being challenged by Bruto Messo, but Alexander Kristoff, there's a new knight of the realm here in scene, and it's Alexander Kristoff who wins stage 1 of the CRO Race. Alexander Kristoff was challenged all the way. It was a close finish in the end, but it's the Norwegian who wins stage 1. 4 podiums last year in the form of his life, but this year he turns it around and takes the victory. Kristoff wins ahead of Lenardi, Bruto Messo taking 3rd with Foldanger in 4th. Viviani, last year's winner, taking 5th with Koga taking 6th, Bounce in 7th. And it's the rider from the Polish Conti team, Badinsky, who takes 10th. The leader in the general classification, Alexander Kristoff, as well as the points classification with 25 points. One lucky fan gets the flowers. Axel van den Soeck is the leader of the King of the Mountains competition and is awarded the special trophy. Alberto Bruto Messo is in the white jersey as the best young rider after stage 1. Great performance from the 20-year-old. Well, Kristoff leads the general classification, 4 seconds ahead of Lenardi, with Cyrus Monk in 3rd. Great performance because he's been in the breakaway, taking 6 bonus seconds. Bruto Messo in 4th with Fred Wright in 5th. We'll see you tomorrow for stage 2 of the CRO Race.